Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. We have made it once again to another episode of Pickup Lines. It is the talk show in a car, and I don't want to say I feel intimidated here, but I'm very honored to have the chief of the San Antonio Police Department, Chief William McManus, a two-time chief of the San Antonio Police Department,
Two-time
correct?
chief,
Because there
right.
was, and we're going to talk about that in a little while. There was a
Yeah.
time when he was not the chief, but of course it all worked out and everything. It's great to have you on here. Thank you so much for your time here.
Glad to be here, other than having some difficulty getting in this little car. It's
Well,
great to be here.
I apologize for that here, and yes, I said in the future I'll try to have a larger car here. Okay, so I was trying to do some math. Math is not my strong subject and everything, but is this your 50th year of law enforcement in 2025?
June 2nd, yes.
June 2nd, so 1975.
75.
You started in the Washington, D.C. police
Yes.
force, right?
DC Metropolitan Police.
Okay, very good. And I'm kind of bouncing around, but I typically like to start kind of at the beginning and work our way chronologically here. So you were born on the East Coast?
I was, Philly.
Philly.
Mm-hmm.
And what are your earliest memories of childhood? What the McManus house was like? Were there siblings? What are your earliest memories of childhood in Pennsylvania?
So we grew up in a in a row house in Northeast Philly. And we had 3 bedrooms, 1 bath. It was me, my 4 sisters, my mom and dad, and my great uncle. 3 bedrooms, 1 bathroom, all those people. I slept down in the basement. So,
when you say row house, by the way, those are are they like tall, slender properties that are right next to each other in a row?
It's like a big box.
Yes.
Flat roofs. Your neighbor's door is 12 inches from your door.
Got it. Got it.
Lived on a busy avenue.
So you're talking about being in a row house, everything. So there were, what, 6 of you said in the house? So was that?
No, there was actually 7 of us.
7 of you in the house. Okay.
No, actually 8 of us in the house.
Okay. See,
My
and
mom
I
and
told
dad.
you math was not my strong
My
suit.
mom and dad, 5 of us, and my great uncle.
Yeah. Okay. Middle class, upper class, struggled. Like, what kind of dynamic was the family?
Blue collar, super blue collar.
Okay.
And, we all went to Catholic school. We all walked to school.
In the snow.
Yeah,
sometimes.
in everything. The cold, snow,
Yeah.
rain, everything. Most of the time we ran, but,
Well, you were an excellent athlete in your youth.
Yeah, I was.
Football was your sport of choice?
I grew up playing every kind of ball there was.
Yeah.
And anybody who watches this who's from Philly, we played stick ball, half ball, fastball, box ball, step ball, wire ball. I mean, if it involved the ball.
I've never heard of some of those games, by the way.
We played it, and we played, and everything was a year-round sport for us.
Yeah.
There wasn't any seasonal sports. We played football all year round, baseball all year round.
Yeah.
We go across the street in the parking lot. We draw a strike box on the wall.
Okay.
And play fast pitch with a little thing called the pimple ball, and we use a broom handle.
Sure.
To as a bat, and but that was growing up. That was every day, all day growing up.
Phillies fan?
Not really. I'm an individual player fan.
Okay.
If you're a hot dog after you score or make a tackle or sack the quarterback, I'm not your fan. If you can score touchdowns, intercept passes, take the quarterback down without, doing silly things afterwards, and I'm a fan of yours.
So act like you've been there kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Is that still true to this day?
Yes, absolutely.
So then in your childhood, who was your sports idol?
I didn't have one. I never watched sports growing up. All I did was play.
You played them. Okay. So then you get to high school, and you were a football player. You played football in college.
I did.
You went to Villanova.
I went to Villanova. I played all the intramural sports in high school. Ran track and played football. And then when I was a junior, I saw the seniors that I was playing with being recruited by different colleges. And I said, I could do that. I'm that good.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I started getting recruiting. Here's a funny story.
Okay.
I signed a letter of intent with Virginia Tech,
The Hokies.
the Hokies. So my dad wanted me to look at Villanova. They were recruiting me, and I didn't want to have anything to do with them. So to please my dad, I accepted a trip out to Villanova for the weekend. And what colleges normally do is they'll hook you up for the weekend with one of their All-Americans
Sure.
who's going to graduate or has one more year left.
Right.
And they're not going to associate with you anyway once you get there. But and that's what they all did. And I went to a number of schools as a recruit. And
but you were a quarterback?
I was a
Or a
quarterback.
tight end? Or what position?
I was a quarterback.
Yeah. Okay.
So when I got to Villanova, they hooked us up. There were 7 or 8 of us at that time, and we were all stayed in a bunch. In other schools, they didn't do that.
Right.
We stayed in a bunch, and the guy they hooked us up with was a sophomore running back by the name of a guy named Johnny Heim.
Okay.
And we had a blast. We all hung out together, and then at the end, then on Sunday morning, you go down to the coach's office.
Yeah.
And they talk to you and gauge your interest in the school. And as we were sitting in the coach's office, we said, "Hey, man, let's all go here. We had such a great time together. Let's play together." So we did, and we all wound up going to Villanova.
Stay close to home.
Well, that wasn't the point of it, but I just realized in my immaturity that was a better deal, knowing who I was going to be there with my own year and who I was going to play with. So it just appealed to me, and
okay,
that's what we did.
Good. But the NFL or football after college, was that ever on the table?
Well, I actually tried out with the Redskins and Washington, and actually I'm here today, so you know how that turned out. but it was a good experience anyway. And I had there were a guy by the name of Mike Ciani, and you can Google that guy if you want.
Okay.
Played for the Oakland Raiders, played in the Super Bowl, won the championship. Mike Ciani was, I think, 2 years ahead of me.
Right.
And then there was a guy by the name of John Babinez, who was also 2 years ahead of me, he was a middle linebacker, and he was one badass. He was recruited by Dallas, played middle linebacker for Dallas for a number of years.
Okay.
After he played there for a few years, went on to a couple of different other teams. And then a couple other guys, had made it for a little while, but didn't last very long. And one guy actually from my class, actually 2 guys from my class were, they either signed as free agents or were drafted. And one guy lasted for, I don't know, a year or 2, wound up having to get his arm cut off. He had some kind of disease in his arm. Yeah.
Shoot.
But yeah, that was it. And then when I got out, when I stopped doing that, I became interested in playing state tournaments and whatnot in racquetball and squash. Squash was actually a much better game than racquetball, but very strategic and much more.
Squash, you use a paddle, right? Not like handball.
Squash is a racquetball. Squash is racquetball is like a little miniature tennis rat, and squash is a longer.
Okay.
Looks more like a badminton rat, but much more sturdy.
Yes. Okay. So a multi-sport athlete, to say the least.
Multi-sport.
Could have been in the Olympics or something. I don't know. All kinds of possibilities. All right. But obviously, as he said, he's here. He went into law enforcement, and we're going to step aside and come back and talk about that here. More with Chief McManus when we come back here on Pickup Lines. Back with the San Antonio Police Chief William McManus, reflecting on his college football days and now racquetball and squash and everything. But I guess soon after that, the NFL didn't materialize and you went into law enforcement, which you mentioned earlier. 1975 is when you first got into the D.C. Metro Police.
Yeah, funny story there. So I had no intention of ever being a cop, ever.
Any in your family?
Nobody.
Okay.
So, and I only had one experience. As a matter of fact, I was afraid of cops growing up. We often had a police officer working the crossings as we go to school in the morning, and I would avoid the intersections that had the cops there
Really?
and go another way because I always thought that they were after me for some
Were
reason.
you a troublemaker?
No, I wasn't a troublemaker, but I was just always afraid of cops.
Okay.
After I graduated from school and after, my attempts in the NFL didn't work out, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I had no idea. So I decided I'd go to grad school. So I was down in Washington, D.C., and there was an open test or something. I don't remember how I got into it, but I wound up taking the police test. I was with a buddy of mine, 22, 23 years old.
Right.
And, hey, let's go take the police test. Okay. We took the test, and I don't know, a few months later, 4 months, 5 months, I don't know how long it was. I got a call. Hey, you ready to start the academy? What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? DC police. I said, well, when's it start? This is just kind of a rough of the conversation. So, well, when does it start? Well, this is on a Thursday, I remember. It starts on a Monday. I said, yeah, I'll be there. So I showed up, and for the next 5 to 7 years, I still had no clue. I was waiting for an epiphany of what I was wanting to do.
Right.
And it never came. So, but I was having fun doing what I was doing.
Yeah.
Everything was a competition on the street.
Sure.
And I didn't want any of the guys I became friends with on the department to get ahead of me. So I studied for promotional exams and got promoted. And when I was a sergeant waiting to get on the lieutenant's list, I decided I wanted to be a physical education teacher in Paris. Not Paris, Texas, Paris,
France. Oh, wait a minute. Okay.
So I had a friend of mine who I knew who spoke French, and he filled out a resume for me. We mailed it out to about 12 different schools. And I got one response. And they wanted me to come to Boston for an interview, which I did.
Mm-hmm.
And they liked me. And long story short, my position that I was supposed to get wasn't approved in the budget. So after I figured I was going to be going to Paris,
right,
I went back to work and said, hey, I'm going to Paris, man. See you all later.
Yeah.
Blah, blah,
Au revoir.
blah. Yeah. And then I had to go back and say, well, I guess I'm staying.
Yeah. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding. You were there all the way till 2001. Is that right?
2002.
So you were there for 9/11.
Yes.
Crazy. And we're obviously into September now. And I wonder what that day when 9/11 comes around every year, what that means for you personally.
To this day, I don't like to watch videos or news reports of that day when the planes hit the towers and when the planes hit the Pentagon. Plane went down in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
I can't bear to watch that. It bothers me. There's not a lot that does, but that does. And we assisted the Arlington Police Department with traffic control.
Arlington, Virginia. Yeah.
Around the Pentagon. And our forensics unit assisted the FBI in gathering information once the fire went out. And that fire burned for a week.
At the Pentagon.
If I remember the time, it burned for about a week. And you could see it at night, you could see it from miles away down 95. I mean,
wow.
it was surreal.
Yeah.
It was like a movie scene that wasn't.
Sure.
But it was, but I have problems with that.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we won't dwell on it then,
Yeah.
because obviously you moved around. You went you were in Dayton, Ohio, you were in Minneapolis, then you eventually came to San Antonio. When you got here, was that 2006?
Right.
What did you know about San Antonio?
It's funny because, so I'll tell you how that worked. So I was, when I was in D.C., I had been, Chuck Ramsey, who was from Chicago,
right,
was the first outside chief to come to D.C. I had just gotten promoted to deputy chief not too long before that. And when he came in, of course, everybody who's in an exempt position is going, oh man, am I going to get demoted? What's going to happen to me? So everybody's worried. And then one day I'm sitting in my office at the first district. They call them substations, called them districts. It was the downtown area, all the businesses, all the Capitol building, all the stuff right in the heart of it downtown. And that was my area. Well, all the facilities in DC police had really gone downhill. Didn't invest any money in it. It was terrible, all of them.
Right.
So I got to my substation. Well, I was assigned there, or my district, and when I walked in, first thing I did, I sat down with the administrative staff and the cleaning crew, and I said, I want this done. I mean, there were notes and messages and posters up on walls and doors, scotch taped up, and you look on one of the bulletin boards, and there was messages there that were years old. Nothing ever had been cleaned, and all the desks were cluttered with papers, and floors looked horrible. Everything was terrible. So I went in and I said, I want this done. I want all the stuff off the desks in the closet. I want the closets cleaned out from all the old computers and phones and everything that were just stuffed in there. I want everything stored where it's supposed to be. When you go home at the end of the day, I don't want anything on the desk except your folders and I don't want anything stored on there. I want the floor. I want you to be able to eat off the floor. I want the walls repainted, all this adhesive taken off the doors and the windows. I put up a script of how you answer the phone at the station, at the station clerk's area.
Right.
And after about 4 weeks, my district, my substation, became known as this flagship of the MPD. Had the stripes all redone in the parking lots, and I mean everything had its place.
Yeah.
Everything had an order to it. The roll call room, they had loose chairs, and I had the sergeant take one of those little sticky dots that
sure.
Put them on the floor where the legs go, and after roll call, when I'm all lined up, that's how I want it to look. So one day I'm sitting in my office, I got a headset on, and I'm typing at the computer, and who shows up in my doorway but Chief Ramsey, the brand new chief, a few months old. And I had been at a community meeting with him, but I never really had any time with him.
Right.
And he walked in, and so I jumped up and saluted smartly. And, and we chit-chatted for a while, and he said, hey, can you give me a tour of the station? I said, yeah. Walked around, and after we got done, he looked at me and he said, you know what? He said, this is the first building I've been in where it looked like somebody was in charge. And 4 months later, he promoted me to assistant chief.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was all worth it.
And then the trajectory just kept on going.
Yeah, and I worked for him as an assistant chief. Excuse me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know if that's
for about 4 years.
I don't know if there's a little OCD there, or just you're like a super neat, organized guy. Or,
yeah, I try to be.
But you probably have to have some of that in your line of work.
Well, I mean, I try to represent the way I dress, try to represent, the way my substation looked.
Okay.
We used to have contests to see who had the shiniest shoes.
Yeah.
So that's how that all started.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay, very good. A few more minutes with Chief McManus when we come back here on Pickup Lines. Don't go away. All right, a few more minutes with Chief William McManus of the San Antonio Police Department. I remember, was it around 2013, 2014, you retired. You left to take a job with CPS Energy.
I did.
And I remember seeing you at a luncheon one day in a regular civilian suit and tie.
Yeah.
And I thought, that does not look right.
So the CEO from CPS Energy for about 2 years had courted me.
Yes.
I ran into him on a Super Bowl Sunday, and hey, Bubba, you talking about coming over, and the average tenure for a major city chief, 3 to 5 years, maybe a little longer if you're lucky. And I had been there for 9.
Yep.
Going on 10. So I figured, you know what? Why push the odds? I might as well give it a shot. And then I got over there, and I immediately had buyer's remorse.
You did?
Yeah. But I decided, you know what? I'm going to stay. I asked him I said, can I get promoted from this position? I was director of security.
Yeah.
He said, yeah, you can get promoted. And when I got over there, it was like 80 degrees different from being in law enforcement. So
right.
After a few months, I started getting calls from departments or recruiters.
Right.
And I kept saying, nah, and I'm not interested, and I'm going to stick this out. And then I got a call from Tucson.
Arizona.
And I like Arizona. Second to San Antonio, Tucson is my favorite city. And they called me 2 times. I said no. Third time, they called me one more time, and they said, hey, we want to take one more shot at this. Are you interested? And I said, yes. and then
Chief of police.
chief of police.
Okay.
So I mean, it was to apply for the job and to interview
Yeah.
for the job.
Yeah.
And, so that was in the works, and then I wound up getting connected to city manager again in a roundabout way, and we spoke.
Cheryl Scully.
Cheryl,
Who was the city manager at the time. Yes.
And during the conversation, are you interested in coming back? I said, yeah, I am. And I told her about Tucson, and I think I told her about Tucson.
Yeah.
So anyway, we talked once, we talked again, talked a few more times, and the process was already in the works.
Right.
So she asked me if I had time to meet with her and the mayor, which was
Was it Julian Castro at the time?
no,
or
it was
Mayor Wolf, Mayor Hardberger.
no.
I'm
drawing a blank.
Garza, Ed Garza. No.
No. Anyway,
Okay.
I'll think of it in a minute.
That's fine.
Anyway, met with the mayor and Cheryl. Was at the Tobin Center,
Okay.
and we spoke for about 45 minutes, and I agreed to come back, and they said they wanted me to come back, and that's how it worked.
Okay.
And I'm still here now.
Trying to remember after Julian Castro's Ivy Taylor.
Ivy Taylor.
Okay.
Ivy
Mayor Taylor was. Okay.
Ivy Taylor.
Okay. Very good. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Very good. And the rest is history. And here you are. You seem to be in amazing shape. Health seems to be good. Age is just a number. How much longer?
That's how I look at it. Age is
Yeah,
just a
well, no,
number.
I mean, I agree. I'm coming up on a milestone birthday next year, and but I mean, I wonder if
40.
those. Nice guess, nice try. Do those things mean anything to you, or you just keep doing this as long as you?
I've been very, very fortunate. I've got 3 beautiful children.
Yes.
My oldest one, she's 25 years old. She's a doctor. My son is in law school. My youngest is getting ready to graduate from Trinity in December.
Wow.
And as long as I'm healthy, and they don't throw me out, then I'll stay for as long as I feel like it.
As much as you,
I have a great team.
Yeah.
I mean, this is the best department. The caliber of officers and supervisors and executives on the department is like second to none.
Yeah.
And it's not just because I'm part of the department; it's because it's true. I know a lot. I've been in a number of departments. I've experienced a number of departments by knowing their chiefs.
Right.
FBI Academy, and a few years ago, and I mean, it's just one of, if not the best department around.
Certainly, in my line of work, I've met a number of people in SAPD over the years, and universally, it's just it's good people, and I know you could brag on them all day long. I do want to brag though on as much as you would like to. Your wife, and just because you talk about your 3 kids who seemingly are doing amazing things, and just by the nature of what you do, the sacrifices she must have had to have made over the years.
Yeah, she did.
Because this is a case where the job has to come before the family in a lot of cases.
Well, my wife is from Peru, Lima, Peru, or Miraflores.
Yes.
Which is a suburb of Lima.
Right.
She came here when she was, I don't know, in her teens with her mom, who went to work for the World Bank, who still lives with us, by the way. Wonderful woman. But she, I met her when I was a captain. So I had gone through all the testing and all the street, the street patrol and everything.
The dirty work, those kind of things.
And I had met her after, again, I had made captain. So, but, going out at night, getting call outs and everything. And she's been a real trooper. And she's a gym rat like I am.
Mm-hmm.
And she opened up her own gym just a couple of years ago here in San Antonio. It's for women.
Okay.
And she's been at it for, she's up every morning at 5 o'clock to the gym. Actually, she's up at 4 o'clock, off to the gym by 5. And she's got a great following. But yeah, she's a trooper, and we've worked it out. So it couldn't work any better. I do the cooking. She takes care of the house and all the bills and everything. And
I've heard about your cooking, by the way. I mean, that's been a long passion because, well, for practical purpose too, you're getting home at all hours of the night. You can't sit down dinner's at 6 o'clock tonight. I mean, that doesn't happen in the McManus house.
Doesn't happen, no.
So what's your specialty?
Well, I love the barbecue. I mean, I've never had a brisket better than mine.
Oh,
Uh,
you didn't bring me any today.
no,
Okay.
I mean, I've got pictures I take pictures of everything I cook.
I love it.
Make things from scratch at home. I mean, it's just, I have,
Chef
I have
McManus then.
three different smokers, and I've got a Blackstone, and I make great use of them.
Heck yeah. I've only got one smoker and one Blackstone, but
Matter of fact, years ago,
come over here. And,
I used to have
come on.
2 or 3 of the council members over at one time, and I'd make breakfast for them all. Ray Saldana was one of them.
Sure.
Rocha Garcia was another
Adriana.
one. Adriana.
Yeah.
She would come over.
Well, you need to have that, right, to decompress, because I can only imagine, and I know we're winding down here with you. I mean, some of the awful, awful, awful things you see and hear that even us in the media don't know about.
Yeah. I was just talking to somebody in the building there about, there's 2 things that bother me to look at. And one is the Pentagon and the, and the
9/11.
towers, 9/11. And the other one is, completely innocent victims of violent crime, such as the one down in Charlotte, Mecklenburg. I have problems looking at there. I mean, I've seen all you can imagine. I've seen, but those are the 2 things that bother me.
You said Charlotte, or what?
Charlotte, Mecklenburg.
Okay.
Where the woman was killed on the light rail.
Yeah, just the other day. Yes,
yeah.
She was attacked. Yes,
Yeah, I mean,
stabbed. That's right. Yes, I saw that.
Crimes like that just, I mean, they bother me. Not a lot does, but they do.
Yeah. Well, listen, I know your time is extremely valuable, and he's already said he's going to come back and do another episode, so I'm going to take him up on that. And next time, I expect you to bring food. Bring some brisket.
I promise I will.
Okay.
And we can eat it here on.
I do it. I mean, in the car.
Yeah.
I don't mind if this smells like smoked meats.
I made a picanha last night. I have a rotisserie. Charcoal rotisserie thing outside, and I put the picanha on there and let it get up to about 130, 135 internal temperature. And man, I'll tell you what, it's really
melt in your mouth.
Yeah, it's really good.
All right, Chief. Listen, thank you.
Ernie, thank you.
All the best to you. Here's to many more years.
Thank you.
Stay safe out there, and give my best to everybody, all the brothers and sisters.
And by the way, crime is looking real good up through August. The numbers are
of this year.
The numbers are down. Everything's looking real good.
Okay. Well, again, you have to come back so we can do another episode on all that.
I sure will.
Sir. Okay, there you have it. Chief William McManus, the San Antonio Police Department on Pickup Lines. There's another episode of the books right there. We will do it again very, very soon. Until then, I'm Ernie Zuniga. Have a fantastic day. Bye for now.